Hello, Cancer. I'm Ulrich. I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do your spiritual, philosophical card reading. These cards are more a kind of advisors. If there are certain issues in your life, these cards advise you to go into certain directions. If there are certain difficulties, the same applies. Anyway, we will see where it leads here for the sign of Cancer for the month of May. So, Cancer, here we go for your spiritual, philosophical card reading for the month of May. Cancer, and welcome to your spiritual philosophical card reading for the month of May. As your first card here, we see the card that we need to talk to God. What does this card exactly means? Well, it tells us here that maybe we talk a lot to ourselves, but maybe we all have an ego or personality, and sometimes this points to the personality. Our personality, it's the ego. So the ego is developing since we are a child. There's all kinds of factors that make us into who we are. There is our childhood, there are our parents, there is our environment, there's our education, and this all, and also all the things that happen to you in your life, and this shapes you into who you are. And here sometimes it means that we talk a little bit too much to ourselves here. We get confused here. Sometimes also certain fears are in our life. Sometimes the advice that we are receiving can be not such a good advice, or if we think here, but instead here a good thing with this card could be meditation. For some people it may be that they come in contact with their God, that they pray. Anyway, we need to see that we silence our ego here. We can do this in prayer, we can do this in meditation. This is what we are seeing here. With this card, it's more like we need to find or seek an advice that comes from the divine here. We need to listen with our heart, and we cannot let our ego interrupt this kind of form of praying, of meditation here. Here we see that the news that we receive from our higher spirit, this is the authentic news. This is what we actually need to use in our life for guidance, for certain supports here. If we do so, we will be granted certain wishes. There will be coming more happiness to us here. If your ego tells you, well, it might not help again, here we see that you could be proven the opposite. Remember here that your higher self, it desires that you evolve in a positive way here, and sometimes our ego is the thing that stands in the middle here. So instead of talking to yourself or to your ego, it's best that we talk to something higher. As we mentioned earlier, the next card that we see here is that we need to be creative. Creativity also, it can come out of the divine or out of the higher spirit. What does this mean? Well, it means that we all are artists in our way. We are all able to create something. There is here with this card we need to express ourselves in any way that fits you. So let your creative mind after the meditation do the talking. This could be simple things. You could write a poem, paint a picture, cook something, take a nice picture, make music, listen to music. This is what we are seeing here. If you're more like a gardening type, you can also do some gardening. This is what we see here with this card. We need to get in contact with our higher self or our spirituality excuse me, through artistic experiences. So here we see we could have the feeling, or it's like our mind is telling us, our ego is telling us that this creativity, it's a waste of time, it has no value. But actually this card tells us the opposite. If we are not creative, it's possible that we feel more suffocated, that we are unable to move here, and certain joys are taken from you. So keep your ego silent if you can, and get in touch here with your higher self. Also, this card reminds us that there is no such thing as good art. There's only genuine art, things that come from the heart that you make out of your heart. So it's not important what others think of your creation or your creativity. It's important the most important thing here is that we are creative. So listen to your higher mind, do something that is creative here, silence your critical ego. If you're criticizing yourself, don't do this. Be creative, don't criticize yourself before you start it. Invest your time in being creative, and we should start with this as soon as possible, and we will have very good results also in our life with this. The next card is the card that we are not scared. Sometimes Cancer, they can be a little bit scared, or they are easy to go back in their panzer. And here we see with this card, it's possible that our ego is making us afraid. It makes us scared here. But this card tells us there is no reason to be afraid. Anyway, we should think with this card here about our current condition. And if you think about this being afraid or coming out, we need to ask ourselves, what exactly are we afraid of? And then you ask this question to yourself, and then you let this come to you. And if you think about it, you will probably come to the conclusion that you are not scared at all. It's like more like an imagined situation here. Here, this card tells you that you are ready for the challenge of the moment, and your higher self, it wants you to take the lead. It wants you to take action. And it asks you to get rid or control the habit of being afraid of everything. Here we see also, if you are taking certain steps, your higher mind, it will guide you in something more exciting. Even an adventure around the corner is possible with this card. If you go in yourself and you relax your mind, you will see that you start smiling at your fears. Here, this card tells you there is no big monster waiting in the corner or ready to jump on your back. Here we see that these are actually mere shadows that live on the wall of our imagination. These are weak things that probably come from some bad experience that we have, maybe out of our childhood here. And here we need to see, we are asked here to get rid of the attitude of being afraid. We need to step in a new adventure with confidence. So this card asks you to stop having fear and to appreciate the fact that you actually are not afraid at all. So Cancer, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this philosophical card reading. If you are interested in more extensive card readings, we have also classic Lenormand card readings. These are done with another deck with 9 cards, and they are very much in details. And then, of course, we have the financial card readings. If you put the 3 together, you have a very nice overview for the month to come. Anyway, Cancer, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for considering subscribing, and we see each other next time. Bye-bye for now.